Welcome to CTC Live. I'm Bruce Fassbinder with the Central Texas College Marketing Department. Thank you for joining us today. Our special guest today is a newcomer to CTC, and he's bringing back intramural sports. I know you guys have missed playing basketball and volleyball and flag football and so forth. Well, Davario Bell is our new intramural sports director, and he's going to tell you about the spring semester sports offering. Welcome, Davario.
How's it going, guys? So, yes, as he said, we are bringing back the intramural sports. First up, we're going to start up is our basketball and volleyball league. It'll be 5-on-5 basketball, 4-on-4 for volleyball. The league meetings are coming up on Friday, January the 28th. They'll start at 10 a.m. for the basketball meeting, and the volleyball will be at 11 a.m. If you would like to participate, you can join a team. You'll have to put together your own teams, and at least one member from that team has to be here on Friday at that meeting to establish your team spot. If you want to sign up as a free agent, you can come to the meeting as well. And if we have any open spaces on any other teams, we can try and get you filled in there. Or we can, if we have enough free agents, we can put together one solid team from those students or staff. You will need to provide a CTC ID that is current and verifiable. Whether you're staff or a student, you'll need that. You'll have to sign a waiver. Those are the only two requirements that we have for you to participate in the sports. Whenever we come back from the break, we'll have softball and soccer starting up as well. Those team meetings I'll announce at a later date, but you'll be able to find all the information on the CTC website. If you go to ctc.edu, locations, and then the sports tab. It should say intramural sports as well there. You click that, you'll have access to the flyers that we have currently going out right now, as well as the rules and the schedules. Our leagues will follow, for the most part, NERSA rules, and with some slight changes, and anybody who shows up at that meeting will get you a copy of the rules so you know exactly what to expect. The volleyball league will be self-refed, so keep that in mind. We want to make sure we have good sportsmanship throughout that. But the basketball league, we will have officials there officiating the games. So as you see here, this flyer will show you our meeting date and time and where it's going to be in the gym. So we'll meet at the front, and I'll take you. We may take it to a classroom, but as long as you come to the front, I'll be there and to direct you. If we don't meet in the actual gym, we'll meet into a classroom, and we'll just go over all the rules, the rosters, and any regulations. And at that time, I'll get you guys questions asked if you have anything additional that you'd like to find out. Here we got the volleyball flyer as well. So same thing, meeting date and time. And that one will start exactly 1 hour after the basketball time. But if you guys have any questions about that league as well, that will be the time to ask and get some clarification. Same deal. If you guys need a team to be put on, all you gotta do is show up. And there's no guarantee that we can get you on a team, but we will definitely do our best to try and make sure the teams have some room for you, or put together a team from whatever free agents we have signed up for the volleyball league as well.
I can tell you from past experience that the free agency works like a charm. So those of you who do not know anybody yet to make a team or want to get on it and want to get on a team, the teams that they always look for players. They say, well, we're putting something together at last minute, or we have enough, but somebody doesn't show up. So sign up for us or sign up with us. So yes, the free agency thing works. Trust me, folks. So if you don't have a team, sign up for the free agency. So outside of you got initially you got the basketball and the 4-on-4 volleyball. So what can we expect after spring break? You talked about softball and soccer. So kind of talk about those a little bit if you can.
Right. So whenever we get back, softball and soccer will be the next two up. Like I said, as far as the team meeting days, those will be to be announced, but it will be shortly after we come back from spring break. So I'll make sure you guys are aware of that well in advance. We'll get it put on the calendar. But those leagues will start the same way. They will each run 6 weeks from the start. And like I said, same rules. We want to still have a big turnout, but we want to make sure that we are promoting for only CTC staff and students to participate. So that one, like I said, 6 weeks. Yeah, if there's any other questions that come up about that, you guys can ask those at the meeting date. But it'll more than likely it'll be the Tuesday after we come back. But again, we'll get some clarification on that before I set that in stone.
When are the games going to be held? For example, the basketball and volleyball are the first games, first leagues up. So when do you play the games and what times and those kind of things?
So next Tuesday will be the first volleyball game, and next Friday, I'm sorry, not next, yes, next Tuesday, next Friday of next week will be the first official games of the volleyball and basketball season. Um, 10 a.m. is set in stone for the basketball leagues. The volleyball is still going to be kind of up in the air right now. It more than likely is going to be in the evening. What I want to do for volleyball is try and get a better idea of who is exactly is playing, and then we'll play it by ear there and try and see what works best for the volleyball because those are going to be self-rep. With the basketball, I had to reach out to officials, so we already got that one set in stone at 10 a.m. is when those games will start.
Okay, so volleyball will be Tuesday in the evenings to start with, and then basketball for sure, Fridays at 10 a.m. start time. And depending upon the number of teams, I suppose we'll go 10, 11,
Correct.
12, and that kind of thing. Okay.
Right. If we depending on if we have a big turnout, we may have to run, of course, multiple games that day. So if we have 2 or 3 games that day, they will start at 10. And then at that time, once I get everybody's head count going, we'll set up a game schedule and then we'll send that out to each of the team captains. So each team will be informed of when their games are.
Okay, great. So we're looking at basketball. We're looking at full court here, right? As opposed to 3-on-3.
Sure. 5 on 5. Yep. All the way up and down. You got to come with the stamina.
Definitely. So how many players can they have on the basketball team? I know sometimes there's limits or unlimited. So what do you recommend for them to do on their roster?
So right now I have 6 slots on the roster that they'll sign up for. Depending on, like I said, depending on turnout, we may allow a couple, but that'll be discussed at the meeting as well. It's up to discretion, but for the most part, we want to at least have 6, so you can at least have somebody to sub in. But we may allow more subs than that, But
Yeah,
again,
I would
that's up
imagine
to
with the full court, some people are going to be gasping
yeah.
for air, so they might need a few more subs. So
That's exactly why I said we may need to open up the sub roster. Well, the main thing we just don't want to do is have too many people on the team and then everybody, because people want to get play time. So we don't want to have
sure.
a lot of people sitting on the bench. But we do want that backup just in case somebody twists the ankle or something. We can still run the game. So we may open that up for a little bit more leeway.
Right. And that's the thing, because sometimes, you get guys who you get 12 people on a roster and then you play 5-on-5, then 6 of them are probably going to get their feelings hurt or not get enough playing time. They want to play somewhere else. So again, so you guys, team captains, make sure you get a reliable guys on your roster that can be there. And again, those guys that don't have a team, try the free agency route. So again, what do you recommend for the captains as far as getting the teams organized? Do they just need to just pull people out of the hat, or do you recommend that they scout the gym or or people that they know and can count on?
So yeah, I've actually been in and out of the gym every now and then trying to see if anytime I hear somebody in there playing, and I've asked, and quite a few of them actually have told me they've already got teams set up. So it looks like we're possibly setting up for a good season. But yeah, I would definitely say, if you're looking for somebody, come by the gym at our busier hours and try and see is there anybody in there shooting around, and just ask them. That's what I'm doing, just checking to see who's signed up and who's not. And if you can find somebody who's shooting around and they haven't signed up for a team or they want to play already and they just haven't looked into it, ask them and see if you can get somebody on your team. As long as they have a CTC ID, they can play, even if they're a staff. If you have somebody on the staff that you know of that might be interested in playing, ask them as well. So
Yeah, we
I
you have a few employees who are basketball junkies, so that may pan out, and that's great advice for any potential coaches or captains or whatever, is to scout the gym and see if there's anybody out there that's not hooked up with a team yet, because that's where you're going to be able to scout their abilities and see who's willing to play and that kind of thing. So,
you don't want to ask
I,
the wrong person.
exactly. And so, what about volleyball? You got a roster of 4-on-4. Is there a limit to the number of players on a roster for the volleyball league?
So, based off of what I've heard about the past in volleyball, it's a decent turnout, but it's not really a huge turnout, not as big as basketball. So, with that, I would say definitely have a couple subs in there, but because it's self-ref, uh, the sportsmanship is going to be a big factor there. And if you do have subs, are y'all trading out? And so I would say at least have maybe 2 backups, so about 6 on the team for the most part, and like I said, show up and play with some integrity.
That's good advice. And also, you guys, either basketball or volleyball, when you're getting your rosters together, keep in mind that sometimes folks have to work. And so you don't want to have just 5 people on your basketball team and one of them has to work, because then you're going to be shorthanded. Same thing with volleyball. If you got 4-on-4 and one of them has to work or something comes up, then you're down to 3. And so you're running shorthanded. So get a couple of subs, but make sure that they're reliable subs, and rotate them in, and make sure everybody gets good playing time. So you do.
And it'll be based off of halves. So even if you get a bigger team and you can, come to, as a captain, you can come to an agreement and say, this person is going to trade out at the half. So at least you have a system and everybody getting some playing time.
Yeah, it's a good deal. Do you guys have any other events or special activities coming up in the spring other than the leagues?
Not yet, but we will have some. What I'm be working on is a 5K going on for the spring for sure. But we don't have any set in stone dates. I would say definitely keep an eye out on the Intramural's page, because even though we don't have anything posted yet, there's going to be some stuff coming up. I got a lot of things planned.
Good deal.
Some
Well,
stuff
yeah,
that
the Eagle
we
Trot
don't have.
is a regular kind of event for the spring and the fall. So we're looking forward to the spring 5K. So I think that was missed the last couple semesters. They did it the last semester, but I think now that we're trying to get back into a more regular routine here on campus with more folks on campus, I think you'll see a better turnout for that one than we did in the fall. So
I'm definitely looking forward to. There's a couple of things that I'm gonna try and get going as well that I don't think we've seen here at CTC. Kickball is one of them. I'm not exactly sure when I'm gonna put that on, as far as what semester, but kickball will definitely be coming. I'm gonna try and get the approval for dodgeball. We'll see what happens there. I'm not 100% sure on it, but of course I got to run that up. But kickball is sounding like a go, so we
okay.
can look forward to that one as well.
Oh, that sounds like a fun thing to do. But there's no way, we're not sure yet if that's going to be fall or spring. So we
Right.
kickball.
Yeah, we're not 100% sure on that one. More than likely it's probably going to be fall because of the time crunch that we'll be putting on trying to get that going. But it's definitely something that we'll be trying to bring onto the intramural sports.
Great. Now let's jump ahead now to the fall semester, since you brought that up. I know a lot of folks are here in spring and they're interested in basketball and volleyball and so forth. But you guys, one of the biggest things I remember in the past is flag football. So kind of talk about, you're going to bring that back, I assume, in the fall semester as well.
Yeah, definitely. Flag football is certainly going to be one. That'll be a pretty big turnout. But I'd say between basketball and flag football, those are definitely your top two runners. So that will certainly make its return in the fall. In between then, around the fall time, we'll also do a couple, short basketball tournaments here and there. It won't be, a full league, but we may run another basketball 3-on-3 tournament over the weekend. Some 3-point shootout contests, simple stuff like that that'll kind of still allow you to, participate in that type of sport. But flag football is definitely returning. That one we can't leave that out.
Definitely sounds good. Are there any other fall sports that you've got planned or on the schedule? I know there used to be a couple in the fall, but
There's going to be futsal. That's which is indoor soccer, so that'll be running again. And then volleyball will make a return. It'll be outdoor volleyball. So
really, wow.
we'll probably bring that one. I'm gonna try and do that one in the summer if I can. But outdoor volleyball will be a thing. The indoor soccer, the flag football, and then if I can get dodgeball approved, we may run that one as well.
Okay. So will volleyball be back to 6-on-6, the regular volleyball
Right.
you guys have? Okay,
Right.
cool. So we've got a lot to look forward to then. So we've got basketball and volleyball coming up immediately. We've got soccer and softball coming up shortly after the spring break. And then next fall, we've got possibility of kickball, a new sport, and flag football return, and an outdoor volleyball, which will be a new venture because normally that's been an indoor thing in the fall. So that'll be kind of fun to see how that goes outside. So that'll work. Good deal. All right, Devario, we appreciate your time. Is there any last words of wisdom that you'd have for potential players or captains?
Like I said, I've said it a couple of times. Just make sure you guys are playing with integrity. We're all here to have fun, and that's the best way to do it. We don't want to compromise anything or mess it up for the rest of the students. With playing with a hot head or anything like that. Just show up to have fun. That's what it's all about. We're not getting paid for this. We're just here to have a good time. So I look forward to the season starting, though, all the sports that we got coming. I'm excited.
No, that's great. Yeah, and that's the best advice is keep in mind, folks, we're not professionals out here. We're playing for fun, so keep it at that. And speaking of playing for fun, what are the prizes that we get for winning the league?
So we'll have some shirts, of course. Everybody loves t-shirts, showing off the brag gear. So depending on only the winning team, we're not gonna have second place t-shirts. Only the top team that wins will get t-shirts, and then depending on the sport, there will be different styles to them. But be looking for the brag t-shirts. Also, there will be Hall of Fame, so you'll be able to get your name and your team put into the Intramural Sports Hall of Fame. There are
Okay,
plaques.
those are nice big plaques that are on display in the gym. So yeah, get your name on there, and then you can walk around with pride with a T-shirt that says "champion" on there for your respective sport. So that's a good thing, and that's always a fun thing to have bragging rights, so to speak. So good deal. All right, good deal. And let me just remind everybody again that in order to play and qualify for intramural sports, you have to be a currently enrolled student with a valid ID card. Or you can be an employee of CTC, faculty or staff, and still have a valid ID card. And that's the only way that you can play. You can't bring your mom and pops and your cousins and your neighbors down the street, that kind of thing. It's on you as a student or an employee only. So, and again, let's
So
go ahead.
let me add, the student, to be a student, you can still, if you have a sibling who's in the early college high school program, they can participate as well, because they are technically still a student in CTC. They'll have a CTC ID. They should have one. If they
Sure.
don't, they can stop by and get one. But if they're early college high school, they can still participate. So you can recruit them for your
Oh,
team
yeah,
as well.
definitely. I did not discount them because if you're early college, high school, I counted them as having a CTC ID card. So good deal. Glad you clarified that. Thank you. So, and then again, just tell us when the meetings are, right? The immediate meetings are coming up one more time.
Yes, so Friday, the basketball and volleyball meetings are this Friday, January 28th, at 10 a.m. and 11 a.m. respectively. So basketball at 10, volleyball at 11.
Right. And so if you are a team captain or if you're interested in playing, we strongly encourage you to attend those meetings so you can get your team set up. And if you're looking for a team, it's best to attend those meetings so you can meet other people and get on a team. So again, DeVario Bell, Intramural Sports Director here at CTC, thank you so much for your time and we appreciate it. And we'll look forward to scoping out the leagues.
Thank you. Thank you. It's good to have you.
All right. Take care.